Welcome to LionAthletics.com softball webcast final regular season game here at John Kane Family Softball Complex. Final regular season game anywhere in the Lone Star Conference. That is, I am Thomas Kent, joined as usual by BJ Laudermilk and Ricky Moser. A little treat for you. Got them both on here. And, taking a look at these Lone Star Conference standings. Win or go home for your Lions.
That's simple, Thomas. You win, you're in. You get to continue your season, go to San Angelo next weekend. You lose, and you're in a tie with A&M Kingsville, even though you played 2 more games with them, and they hold the tiebreaker over your Lions because they took 2 out of 3 a few weekends ago down in Kingsville.
In between innings, we will be making out Christmas cards and sending them out to Silver City, New Mexico, as Western New Mexico did pull off the upset, won their first conference game against A&M Kingsville, and allowing these Lions to even have a chance at the postseason as they split the games on Friday, which is definitely not what they had set out to do. I'm going to give you a quick lineup here, and we'll get things going after the rain out yesterday. Leading off for the Pioneers, Nicole Nordy in center field, batting second to shortstop, Katie Stevens, batting third, Hazel Pimple at first base, batting cleanup, the third baseman, Talia Silverstein, batting fifth, the flex, Tori Bice, batting sixth, the catcher, Alexis Elizondo, batting seventh, the pitcher, Abby Walker, and we'll talk more about her here in a little while, batting eighth, Logan Polishek, and batting ninth, Tara Solomon. Starting in the circle for Katie Dean, starting in the circle for the Lions is Katie Dean, and she'll let the first pitch go just a bit outside.
Yes. Katie Dean starting for the Lions, 13-7 on the year with a 2.81 ERA.
And this one is hit foul slowly on the ground over to the third base side, and the count will even at 1-1. And Katie Dean going to get a little information from the first base umpire. If you were tuned in Friday night in that first game where there were some interesting calls, that umpire is at third base. The home plate umpire from the first game is at first base, and the third base umpire from the first game is behind the plate. 3-1 now from Katie Dean. Here's the delivery. In there, strike 2. There was a foul ball, I believe.
Yeah,
illegal pitch. So that was the illegal pitch. So that's what the umpire came to tell Katie Dean. So 3-1. The bunt is laid down, and getting to it kind of late is Katie Dean, and she will throw it away, but nobody advancing. So score that a base hit, and no error since nobody advanced.
And that's something that the Lions had trouble with in Game 1 of this series was the bunt. That put runners on bases for the Pioneers, and, of course, errors allowed more runs to score in that first game. It's going to be interesting to see how they clean that up here in Game 3.
Yeah, and with the rains coming in yesterday, don't know if the turf is still a little soaked from the weather, but it'll be interesting to see how the bunt defense is played now with the high amount of water we saw yesterday.
Well, with the comeback being allowed in the top of the 7th in that first game on Friday night, I would imagine that Coach Brewster has straightened things out with his team, and squaring to bunt is Katie Stevens, the shortstop, and she will take strike 1. Count now even, 1 apiece.
Yeah, Nordy continues to lead the LSC in hitting with her .484 average after that bunt single. 18 of 23 stolen bases on the year.
And squaring to bunt again is Stevens, and she will pull back and take strike 2 now. So imagine we'll see her swinging away, and she gets the sign from her third base coach, Jared Stidham. And here is the 1-2 from Dean. Swinging away is Stevens, and she'll foul that one off.
Pretty good crowd on hand today, Thomas, for this regular season finale here at the Kane Complex, trying to cheer their Lions on to a potential LSC tournament trip next weekend down to San Angelo.
Absolutely, and we We touched on that earlier. Win or go home, and I know I got an email persuading students to come out to the game. On the ground to third base, Thompson takes care of it over to Hebler. That is out number one. Meanwhile, Nordy advances to second. So with the 2 strikes, had to swing away, but same result as a sac bunt. Just goes against the old average there. Hazel Pimple now will step in with 1 out and Nordy on second. Pimple batting .390. Bats from the left side. She'll take one on the back, right there on the ponytail, I believe. And we'll have first and second as Katie Dean lets a wild one go. The wind, you can see the wind on the jerseys. Well, maybe you can't, but we can. The wind is definitely going to be a factor here today. And that flag out in left center field is blowing all over the place. Sometimes blowing straight out, sometimes blowing from left field to right. Kind of a swirling wind, and we'll see if Mariah Jamison can't take advantage of that later. And that is ball 1. And we got quite a bit of umpire conversation.
Yeah, as we get a little break in play here. That last pitch to Hazel Pimple, that was a first pitch ball that, of course, hit her, advancing her to first. She also had a first pitch, kind of a wild ball against Nordy. So
this is on the ground to first. Hebler taking care of it herself, and actually she will flip it back to Oppenheim. But both runners advancing. Only play there was to first. So Nordy now to third, Pimple to second, and 2 outs for Tori Bice, who, if I recall, had a pretty good Friday night against the Lions here. Hitting, that is.
Hitting, yes. Pitching, she got the loss in game 2.
And this is driven to center field. Bailey Higgs not going to get to it. It's going to go to the fence. Both runners will score, and Bice comes into second base safe under the tag of Oppenheim. Pioneers strike quickly 2-0 on a 2-out double, 2 RBIs.
Yeah, Tori Bice continues where she left off on Friday, just putting it into the right center field gap, and before Bailey Higgs could get to it, she was chugging around first towards second. It made it a closer play at the bag than we thought initially, but just like in game 2, the Pioneers take the early lead. Let's see how the Lions battle back from adversity.
And here is the catcher, Alexis Elizondo. First pitch swinging over to Thompson. Thompson takes care of it easily. Good throw over to Hebler, and that'll do it. But 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and just 1 left on base. Texas Women's University takes a quick 2-0 lead over your A&M-Commerce Lions. We'll come back and give you the Lions lineup right after nothing here on LionAthletics.com. Welcome back here, bottom of the first. We're going to get you this Lion lineup real quick. Vanessa Avina leading off in the flex spot. Batting second, left fielder Sierra Nunez. Batting third, first baseman Kinsey Hebler. Batting fourth, the catcher Mariah Jamison. Batting fifth, Chelsea Slider at shortstop. Batting sixth, the center fielder Bailey Higgs. Batting seventh, the freshman right fielder Jordan Sharp. Batting eighth, Tyler Oppenheim. And batting ninth, Precious Thompson. Katie Dean will not bat, and they will face Abby Walker, who we saw some just absolutely disgusting pitches out of her. She was spinning that ball. She could do anything with it. Ricky?
Absolutely. She's always a threat. Saw her leaving the dorm earlier today. She was in the zone. So, in fact, I'm going to go in and put my call in right here, guys.
And, of course, he's speaking about Vanessa Avina. Abby Walker with a 2.6 ERA. And, again, just a fantastic game 1 against the Lions here.
Yeah, she improved her record on Friday to 16-7 with that first game win. But we saw very impressive stuff from Walker on Friday, and it wouldn't be surprising if Lions are going to have some early inning troubles against her.
Yeah, she has no problem amping up a fastball and then slowing it down. This is on the ground past the outstretched glove of Silverstein. And just going to be a single here for Avina, but a nice rip down the line. Yeah, Abby Walker, she'll change it up on you quick, fast, and in a hurry, but no problems there for Avina.
A good piece of hitting there by Vanessa Avina. Already Lions have had a little more success in this game against her than they did in the first game, and good idea to start a rally here down early on.
Here is the first pitch to Sierra Nunez. Outside, ball one. Nunez batting .363. Again, it's senior day here. Won't see a senior on the field, but we did before the game. They celebrated the career of December Rivers, remembering she hit the first home run in Lions history, as this was just a startup program a few years ago, and she did so in the first game that she played as a Lion. Oh, and I've got some notes here, and we'll get to those in a little while. More on December Rivers shortly. 1-1 for Nunez from Walker. Avina on first, and she squares the bunt and lets it go. 2-1 now. That was outside. I see former head coach Sam Walker has entered the building.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of support from Lion Athletics fans here today, especially from the other programs.
Swinging away is Nunez, and that's going to drop for a base hit, and actually it's going to get away. No, nobody's going to advance, as it looked like it could be caught, so Avina had to hold up when it little bloop single when it landed, kind of spun over towards the Lion dugout, but again, Avina holding up, only able to advance to second. But we got a little offense working here with nobody out, and the kind of the big three, if you will, coming up next.
Back-to-back good pieces of hitting there down the left field line. Sierra placed it perfectly where nobody could get to it, and then Avina, of course, hitting it just out of reach for Celestine at third.
Hebler taking strike one right down Main Street, and she will fall to 0-1 early here. Hebler batting .403, just 2 ticks behind Mariah Jamison, and we've noted that competition, and we'll see where it ends up. This is driven to right center field. Coming on is Solomon, and she will make the play. Nobody advances, and that is one quick out for Abby Walker now after allowing 2 leadoff base runners. Mariah Jamison now going to step in here. I just mentioned she is a couple ticks ahead of Kinsey Hebler. She has a .405 batting average. Of course, Hebler's will drop a touch after that fly out. Jamison leads the nation in RBIs. Has that changed since, of course, with the rain out? Kind of an interesting scenario there. Strike one to Jamison. Nunez on first. She has 29 stolen bases. Avina on second. She has 13. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit well. Look out in the bullpen over there. Thankfully, nobody in there. And, we saw this on Friday night. Jamison would pull a hard foul ball, and then and then she went yard. And you may remember I put in the call on that one. And
you did?
Yeah, you have not let us forget about that.
I won't let you forget.
No,
I graduate in a couple weeks, and next year I'll call and remind you. That's outside, 1-2 now.
Well, the wind's blowing strong enough this afternoon, so if anyone's able to put a ball in play in the air, it definitely has a chance to go long.
Right you are, Ricky. 1-2 now with 1 out. Runners on first and second. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be a strikeout swinging for cleanup batter Mariah Jamison, and we'll see what Chelsea Slider can do now with 2 outs. She has been known to have a timely base hit, and of course we saw her hit the first right field home run we've pretty much seen all year here at home, and she is swinging a hot bat right now, and hopefully she can do something here with 2 outs. And swinging a miss there, 0-1, but she's certainly swinging for the fences. Speaking of fences, where usually there is plenty of room in the parking lot to drop a home run ball in there now, it would almost certainly hit a car this time, as we've got a pretty full lot. This is hit up the middle, And that's going to be good for a base hit. Avina's coming around to no. Brewster going to hold her up at the last second. Everybody's safe, though. Bases loaded for the junior, Bailey Higgs. Avina was getting waved around there, and then Coach Brewster thought better of it as Nicole Nordy got to it a little bit quicker than I think he expected originally.
Yeah, you don't want to test the arm of Nordy. You never want to make the last out at home plate, and trusting Bailey Higgs to keep the inning alive and keep the rally alive here with 2 out.
You know, we haven't seen a real big variety of pitches just yet from Abby Walker, and now Coach Jared Stidham going to come out and talk to her.
Well, that first pitch to Mariah was one of the slower ones that we've seen here today. Now, she did throw a bunch of changeups in the first game on Friday. And you were asking about...
Yeah, comparatively.
For sure, yeah. You were asking about Mariah if she still leads the nation. She is tied with Brooke Hodgson of Colorado Mesa for the nation lead in RBIs. Both have 63, and then a couple behind them are at 62. So it's going to be a close, tight race here all the way through the end.
Most teams are done playing. Hopefully we can see her get 1 or 2 today and go ahead and take that lead back. Pinch runner here for the Lions. Kayla Kilcrease going to come in and run for Chelsea Slider. We've seen that song and dance a few times. Kilcrease 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts. She's scored 12 runs. So now Abby Walker, after a good talking to, going to try her hand at Bailey Higgs. Bailey looking to square up and allows that ball 1 to pass by her. Third baseman Silverstein and first baseman Pimple playing somewhat for the bunt. And that's in there for strike 1 now, 1-1. Again, 2 outs, bases loaded. Avina on third, Nunez on second. Kilcrease now on first in place of Chelsea Slider. 1-1, here's the delivery, and checking up is Higgs. She's looking to swing away, but she'll let that one go high, 2-1. Higgs batting .331. With 2 outs, she bats .342. Swinging and fouling off, maybe off the glove or the mask of the catcher Elizondo. Going to have a 2-ball, 2-strike count here with 2 outs. Down 2-0. With the bases loaded, Higgs is batting .364. Pretty consistent all the way around what she does, no matter the situation. Everything just above or below .350 pretty much for her. Full count now, so everybody will be off and running. A base hit would certainly score Sierra Nunez. And she's going to strike out looking with the bases loaded. And no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the bases left full here in the bottom of the first for your Lions. Pioneers leading 2-0, and we will head to the top of the second right here on LionAthletics.com. Welcome back here, top of the second. I want to get to December Rivers here before this game gets too terribly serious. It is Senior Day here at the ballpark, and we would like to honor Senior December Rivers for her contributions to Lions softball. She was escorted out onto the field by her mother, Susan, and her dog. I'm not sure of the name of the dog. I'd guess Roy if I had to, but of course that is a complete guess. December was one of the original signees of the program that has set multiple NCAA records. In the inaugural 2015 season, December contributed to the Lions' 29-24 record and a trip to the Lone Star Conference Tournament. This is the best first-year start to a program in NCAA Division II history. In year 2, the Lions became the first team to earn a berth into the NCAA tournament, and this is driven right back where it came from. Base hit into center field. That's Abby Walker helping herself out. Again, the Lions became the first team to earn a berth into the NCAA tournament in just its second season and finished with a 37-19 record. BJ, well, actually, we got a stoppage in play. BJ, you want to finish that out for us?
Yeah, December hit 301 in her career with 33 runs scored. She had 80 hits, 68 runs batted in, 20 doubles, and 10 home runs, and she played catcher first base for the Lions in her 3 seasons. In addition to her leadership and hard work, December will also be remembered as the first player in Lion softball history to hit a home run, accomplished back in the first game in 2015. She's a criminal justice major, and she will graduate here with you in a few weeks, Thomas, in May. So, again, just a superb congratulations and thank you to everything that December Rivers has done in her career for A&M-Commerce softball.
Absolutely, and unfortunately an injury-shortened season here in 2017, and we didn't get to call as much December Rivers softball as we would have hoped, but congratulations to her nonetheless. Squaring to bunt is Logan Polishek. Again, she had Abby Walker on first, but we have a pinch runner.
We did get confirmation. Your guess was not too far off about the name of the dog. You want to take another stab at it, or do you want me to go ahead and tell you?
Well, hang on just a second. Now, I wasn't too far off.
You were a little bit further outside than you might have thought.
Okay, now I'm losing confidence. Just go ahead and tell me.
You're contradicting yourself.
The dog's name is Apache, so maybe
Apache.
the Indian
Wow.
version of Roy.
He said the Indian version of Roy. Bunt's laid down. Mariah Jamison gets to it quick, and Oppenheim covering it first. Gets the out, and the runner at first advances to second. Oh, Morgan Harrison is who that was. Morgan Harrison not batting in the lineup. She plays second base. So she is running for Abby Walker. Got that all cleared up. We were more worried about December Rivers, but strike one here to Tara Solomon. She's looking at it. Out, one out. Again, Harrison on second. Solomon batting .328 this season. She plays right field, and she'll check up and take ball one high. 1-1 now. And guess what number she wears?
I'm not going to even answer that.
Number 1. Here is the 1-1. Squaring to bunt, and that is in there on the outside corner. Strike two. Good-looking pitch out of Katie Dean. She's hitting her spots. Kind of an unfortunate first inning, but I will say she looks pretty good in the circle. Here's the 1-2. Checking up again on the high fastball is Solomon. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Slowly hit on the ground to Oppenheim at second. She has to get to it quickly and flip it over to first, but she does that successfully, gets the out, score that 4-3, and the runner, Harrison, advances over to third. Lions desperately needing to strand this runner here at third, and as they turn the lineup over to Nicole Nordy, we'll see if Katie Dean can get an out here. Swing and a miss, good-looking changeup, as Nordy was way out front of that one. 0-1 here. Harrison, 6 stolen bases. She sits on third base. Swing and a miss again out of Nordy. So Dean working quickly now. Has seemed to find a little something here. 0-2 now. Nordy with 2 outs, bats .522, and she's going to pop this one foul and look out in the stands. Again, pretty full stands. That one finds some bleacher, though. Everybody's safe. Coach Brewster having a somewhat heated conversation now with the first base umpire. Not sure what it's about. Oh, and I'm going to Was that another illegal pitch? Looks like he just got a warning. This is not the umpire that Coach Brewster has had a tough time with this weekend, but anybody's game, I suppose.
If that is an illegal pitch, that would score the runner from third, and this would be a 3-0 game. But we're at a loss for.
We'll get some clarity here when we see the count from the home plate umpire. Should be 0-2. I'm just not entirely sure if it wasn't a pitch problem. 1-2, so it is an illegal pitch. Of course, not a balk like you would see in baseball, so the runner stays, and this is popped up into foul territory, played by Oppenheim, and regardless of the illegal pitch and the 1-2 count, that is the third out here for the Pioneers in the top of the second. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and just the one runner stranded on third base.
They did allow her to come home. Yeah.
I didn't see her even cross the plate.
No, she crossed the plate on that illegal pitch, unfortunately,
So
and
she
that's
did
why
score.
Coach Brewster was arguing. So.
Okay, so she did score. I guess she had crossed.
I didn't see anyone.
She must have crossed the plate before Brewster came out, possibly. Sorry about that, folks. So it is 3-0. No runs, or 1 run on a hit, and no errors, and nobody left on base. We will be right back, 3-0, and we'll head to the bottom of the second on LionAthletics.com. So my apologies, 3-0 here. Pioneers over the Lions, and couple of illegal pitches so far called on Katie Dean, and from what I understand, this has been somewhat of an issue at least one other time this season. Haven't seen a whole lot of it here at home, but 3-0 nonetheless. Jordan Sharp going to bat here to lead off the bottom of the second. And even 3-3 hits, 3 hits apiece for both teams, but of course we have stranded 3 on the base paths, and Pioneers have only stranded 1. So far we can see what the problem is. 1-0 now to Sharp. Sharp bats .262. This the last game of her freshman campaign. That is taken outside and low, 2-0.
At least for the regular season. Maybe not necessarily the last game of the year, but at least for the regular season. Lions have Kinsey Hebler warming up in the bullpen at the moment.
So maybe Katie Dean, not a great fit in the circle with this specific umpiring crew. Maybe something.
Apparently the only good fit in the circle is Abby Walker for this umpiring crew.
3-1 now as Jordan Sharp was taking all the way. Coach Brewster certainly was not happy, and that explains a lot more now that we see the run had scored. 3-2 now here to Sharp as she fouls one off the left side. This is fouled back, so we'll do 3-2 again. Sharp, when she leads off an inning, bats .579, so certainly a great person to have leading off this inning. She might lead the team in that statistical category. It's the highest number I've seen that I can recall. And this is going to bounce well in front of the plate. Jordan Sharp making her way down to first somewhat quickly as that one got away from Elizondo, but she will stay at first, and we'll see Tyler Oppenheim bat with nobody out. And again, Sharp at first.
Got a score update for you. The only other game going on around the conference today, number 7 West Texas A&M out in Portales, New Mexico with Eastern New Mexico. That game is a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the second inning.
Speaking of Lone Star Conference, if you're just joining us, again, send your Christmas cards out to Silver City, Western New Mexico, giving the Lions a gift on Friday night, winning their first conference game against 7th place Texas A&M Kingsville, and allowing this game to matter, if you will, and Oppenheim squaring to bunt, pulling back, and then slapping that one foul down the third baseline. It was a pretty quick hands there to do that.
For sure, yeah. The wind is really picking up now.
Yeah, the wind again swirling, sometimes pushing straight out to left, and right now it is pushing basically across from left to right. And here's that changeup, and it's fumbled by Abby Walker. Everybody's going to be safe. Oppenheim, as Walker would have had a tough time anyway, as Oppenheim runs well, but you certainly can't let that one get back on the ground. Definitely no time. That changeup, though, Oppenheim lucky to make contact. She had almost a full swing and backed up and swung again.
I was going to say the outfield was playing considerably shallow for Oppenheim, and you see why, as she gets one on the ground and just beats it out with her speed.
Here's Precious Thompson bunting, and that is right in front. Fair ball. Everybody's safe.
That was a perfect bunt there by Precious Thompson. Even with getting to it quickly and throwing to first, Precious with her speed beat it out. And now bases loaded for Avina. Could we see another grand slam here?
I sure hope so. My apologies on the slow call. It looked to me like the umpire was calling foul, and it wasn't even close. So I was kind of frozen for a second there, almost speechless. But, of course, everybody's safe here. And, again, like you mentioned, bases loaded for Vanessa Avina. We saw the grand slam a couple weeks ago. That was a pinch hit opportunity, and certainly
made the most of it.
Yeah, certainly a clutch first inning grand slam for Avina. We'll see how clutch she is here with nobody out and the bases juiced. Swing and a miss. That was certainly the grand slam type swing.
She wanted that one.
1-1 now. That was a good fastball out of Walker. I wouldn't be surprised to see that changeup coming pretty quickly. Here's the 1-1. And that is another fastball low taken for ball 2. Good hitters count here for Avina. Might see another one of those home run swings. And time is going to be called by Jenny Stidham. So Jordan Sharp on third. Tyler Oppenheim on second. Precious Thompson on first. Abby Walker having to deal with all those Lions with nobody out. This is possibly a season-changing at bat here.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you don't get too many of these opportunities, so you want to make the most of them when you get them. And this is the kind of thing that can make or break your postseason run right here.
Here's the 2-1 popped up, and it's going to be called on by Nordy, center field, just at the bottom of that lion head, and no risk with nobody out there out of Coach Brewster. We might see a little more risk here with a similar play going forward. So one out now, Sierra Nunez. Abby Walker doing a good job of starting to get herself out of a jam. Hopefully for Lion fans, it doesn't continue. Here is first pitch to Nunez in there. Top of the zone, strike one.
Already 5 hits for the Lions in the first 2 innings. That's much more impressive than what they were able to do on Friday in the first game against Walker, but still no runs across yet.
And that changeup is going to bounce well short of the plate, so 1-1 now with 1 out for Sierra Nunez. Again, bases full of Lions. Nunez batting from the left side. She singled in the first. Nordy in center field playing towards left center. And this is a base hit, maybe a double, maybe a triple for Nunez. Everybody's going to come around to score. And Nunez heading for third. Bases clearing, triple, tie, ball game. Lions 3, Pioneers 3.
What a great piece of hitting there by Sierra Nunez. Turning around on that fastball, pulling it down the line, sending it all the way to the wall, and with her speed, she was going to be well safe at third. The throw didn't even go over there, but the throw to the plate to try to get Precious Thompson was not going to be in time either. Lions tied up just like that.
And mark that down for Sierra Nunez's first triple of the season, and what a time to do so. Kinsey Hebler now with one out and a runner here on third in Nunez. A sac fly would give them the lead. Here's the first pitch from Walker. Down and away, or excuse me, down and inside. Ball one. This crowd having to settle down here a little bit and catch their breath. Abby Walker looks a little rattled. We'll see. 1-0, and that changeup is high. 2-0. Not wanting to give Hebler anything too easy, but
even a sac fly would score a run here and put the Lions on top. So definitely anything's possible. But with the power of Hebler, you can expect a lot more than that.
That's in there, low and away, catching the corner. Strike one. Hebler's average after the fly out to right, down at an even 400, but she bats 450 with runners in scoring position. This one is high in center field. Tagging at third is Nunez, and she is going to retreat, and probably rightly so. Great throw by Nordy, and despite Elizondo fumbling the ball here at the plate, I think Nunez probably would have been gunned down.
Yeah, Nordy has a great arm in center field, and that's the right decision there for Sierra to hold up and wait and not be the last out at the plate, especially with the nation-leading RBI hitter at the plate for the Lions.
Yeah, you don't want to take the bat out of Jamison's hand, and she will foul this first one back. Look out, Pioneer fans, and that just missed a fan there in the first row, sort of behind the Pioneer dugout.
Good thing they were paying attention. We have seen a fan get hit with a foul ball here by not paying attention, so you always want to be alert when you're at the game.
Here's the 0-1. Jamison swinging. That could go. That could go, and it is going to go. Two-run home run by Mariah Jamison. She now leads the nation in RBIs by 2. Adds to her record-setting A&M-Commerce season with, I believe 19 home runs now?
Yes, 19 home runs. She's one away from an even 20 in 1 year.
And most importantly, she gives her Lions the lead in a win-or-go-home game here in the bottom of the second to continue a 5-run inning. Mariah Jamison has continued to be a clutch hitter all season, and I sure hope to see that go on into the postseason.
Yeah,
look out, Angelo.
That's the kind of hitting that will get you well on the way to a continuing your season trip.
And that one, without the wind, might have just been a pop-up.
I think the wind had a lot to say about that one for sure.
That one kept carrying way up in the air, and left fielder was going back on it like she had a play, but ran out of room, and that one was kept carrying and carrying.
Thank you, Mother Nature. Slider swinging, and this is going to be fouled back over the net. Look out, and protecting the young man down there. Good job out of you, sir.
That's Brewster's kid. Oh, is it? Yeah, that's Brewster's son.
So Slider going to have an 0-2 count now here with 2 outs. Everybody's safe down there. Abby Walker looking to the dugout for the call. Here's the 0-2.
Watch out, June.
Rip down the third base line. Foul.
Yeah, watch out over there, Filmer June down the line over there by Coach Brewster. And Everybody make sure he's all right. Looks like some fans are going to look for that Jamison home run out in the parking lot.
Low, ball one now, 1-2 for Slider. Nobody on base here. Slider was looking to come up and get some RBIs, but Jamison taking care of that. And that's going to get Slider on the inside of her right leg. Don't rub that one. That looks like it hurt. But she seems to be okay. And now Coach Brewster reaching in that pocket for the lineup card. I saw that coming all the way. Slider usually gets a pinch runner, and, well, maybe not. He's going to let her run. Maybe he wants her to work out the tension from getting hit by that pitch.
Yeah, Walker wants that one back. She had an 0-2 count and then hit her with the pitch to put the runner on first. So the second stays alive for the Lions.
And this is hit up the middle by Higgs, and Slider going to stand up there at second base, and this inning will continue for the Lions. Jordan Sharp coming back around, and the Lions have officially batted around. And Jordan Sharp will try her hand for a second time here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, we've seen a completely different Abby Walker than we saw on Friday, and that's great news for the Lions. But also, you know, we've seen 5 runs here in this second inning on 5 hits, and it's keeps on going.
And if the Lions were to win here, I believe they would face Cameron.
That's correct.
In the first round, and Texas Women's would play Tarleton.
Yes.
And Cameron, of course, swept us here at home, so take from that what you will. The Lions could be fired up to get some revenge, and from what I understand, without getting into details, there's a little bit of bulletin board material that one of the Cameron players gave the Lions. And this is popped straight up in the air. Got some confusion, but Celestine going to push everybody out of the way and make the play. So finally, that'll do it here for the Lions in the bottom of the second. But the damage is done. 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We'll turn things over to BJ Laudermilk with the play-by-play duties here in the top of the third when we come back on LionAthletics.com.
Top of the third inning, and what a third inning to return to as the Lions put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the second and have a 5-3 lead over the TW Pioneers. First pitch from Katie Dean is going to hit the leadoff hitter Katie Stevens, and she will be awarded first base and let the good times roll until they come to a screeching halt for a second there. Now Lions have the tying run to deal with up at the plate in Hazel Pimple. Katie Dean back out for her third inning of work. The first pitch to Pimple is going to be chopped foul towards the Pioneer dugout. Giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. No walks, no strikeouts to speak of here today. That ERA hovering just under 3.0 through this at-bat. The 0-1 pitch to Pimple is going to miss a bit high, 1-1.
Yeah, and speaking of hit by pitch, that's exactly what happened when Pimple was up to bat in the first. She was hit, so a couple of hit batters now for Dean.
The 1-ball, 1-strike pitch is going to be cut on and missed by Pimple, and it's 1-2. Lions batted around in that bottom of the second inning, a 5-run outburst. Big part of it was a 3-run triple by Sierra Nunez and the 2-run home run by Mariah Jamison. The 1-2 pitch to Pimple is high.
Yeah, that 2-3-4 in the Lion lineup, I put those 3 girls up against anybody in the conference, maybe the nation. Of course, have to do a little more research.
2-2 hit in the air to center, sends Bailey Higgs back to the track, and it's going to go off the wall. It's going to send the runners to second and third, and that is where they'll hold up. But 2 are on now with nobody out. And watch out. Pioneers are building something here in this third inning, trailing by a couple.
And Courtney Jones is going to start warming up now in the Lion bullpen. And I got to say, of course, you can't predict the bobble there behind the bag at second base. But if I'm third base coach Jared Stidham, I think I'm sending Stevens. I think she had plenty of time to get in here, especially with the relay being necessary from center field. I probably would have pushed that one.
Well, with Silstein at the plate, you want to see what you can do as she'll take that first pitch in there for a called strike. Silstein, of course, has 43 runs driven in. That's good for second on the team in terms of RBI. 0 for 1 today. The pitch to her is going to be hit towards Precious Thompson. She'll glove it, throw to first, and there's out number 1. Throw back to second, not in time. They tried to get Pimple too far off the bag at second, but an alert play there by Kinsey Hebler. 1 gone now for the Pioneers.
Exactly why I would have sent Stevens in the first place, because you know what these Lion infielders can do. You're gonna have to drive the ball into a gap to score these.
Now it'll be the flex Tori Bice. She'll cut the first pitch on the ground. Katie Dean going to throw, get her at first. The throw to the plate is not in time. So the Pioneers steal run back on the ground out by Bice. It's 5-4, but alertly, Katie Dean kept that runner at third before throwing to first, and then the runner just coming home on the throw over.
Well, Stevens was quite a ways off the bag, not wanting to risk getting nobody out. Dean throws over to first, but they may have had a play. Stevens was kind of hung out there at third.
Bunting with 2 gone. The first pitch is going to be fouled off of Elizondo's leg, and we've seen quite a few bunt hits for Elizondo in this series, and she lays one down with 2 gone. The catcher with pretty good speed. Count is 0-1.
Well, thankfully, no runner on third here, because that's been the problem when Elizondo bunts with a runner on third. They've been scoring here in this series.
0-1 is going to be hit into left field. Sierra Nunez is going to not be able to get to it. It's going to roll behind her. This game is tied up as Elizondo digs for third. The throw from Sierra Nunez is going to be not in time. Elizondo looked just to have beaten the tag of Precious Thompson. It was going to be a close play, but she is safe at third. This game is tied at 5, and just like that, the 5-run inning the Lions put up is no longer giving them the lead. We are all even.
Well, 2 outs here. Katie Dean has got to get this final out. You cannot let Elizondo come in from third. I don't know how many 5-run innings you've got in you.
That's a ground ball to slider off the glove of Katie Dean, and there's your third out. But the Pioneers get some damage across. They scored twice on 2 hits. They get no errors and 1 runner left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the third. We're suddenly even at 5-5 here on LionAthletics.com. Bottom of the third inning, it's a 5-5 tie between your Lions and the Pioneers of Texas Woman's University. And speaking of the magical number 5, here comes the Lions number 5, Tyler Oppenheim, to lead off the bottom of the third inning against a new pitcher for Pioneers. No, she's not number 5. That would be Haley Dixon in the circle for the Pioneers. She will face Oppenheim as the first batter here in this third inning. Dixon comes in with a 4.39 ERA, 8-1. She was the starter in Game 2 on Friday night. So no decision going to be issued for Abby Walker here today, but she won't get the loss. First one to Oppenheim is going to be just outside for ball 1. Oppenheim singled back in that 5-run second inning, came across to score on the Sierra Nunez triple. 1-0 the count. Dixon in the stretch. Here comes the 1-0. That's going to be outside. It's 2-0. Oppenheim with a 3.79 average when leading off the inning. Worked her batting average up to 3.02 with her second inning single. Now one of 5 Lions above 300. The 2-0. That's going to be in there. It's 2-1. Six Lions in the lineup starting have batting average above 300. Tyler Oppenheim comes in at 302. Chelsea Slider just below that, 292, trying to work her way up to that 300 number. 2-1 is going to be chopped back to Dixon in the circle. She'll flip over to Pemple at first, and there is out number 1. It'll be Precious Thompson now coming up to bat for the Lions. Give you a quick check of the LSC scoreboard. The Buffs, the Lady Buffs of West Texas A&M answered the Eastern run in the 3rd, and they now have a 2-1 lead that game in the 4th inning out in Portales. First pitch to Precious Thompson is going to be inside for ball 1.
Of course, that game out there, no result will change anything except for where Eastern finishes in the final regular season standings, but they will not make the playoffs regardless, and WT not in danger of losing there's no possibility of gaining any seeding there.
That one swung on and missed by Thompson. It's 1-1. Looks like the first base umpire came over to talk with Dixon in the circle. Might she have thrown in an illegal pitch right there?
Well, I guess she...
Yes, she did. It's 2-0. That's indeed what they were telling her in the circle. So Thompson now takes that one low, and instead of at 2-1, she's at 3-0 thanks to the help of the illegal pitch. Finally, something going the other way in terms of throwing pitches in the circle for the Lions.
So we've got Kinsey Hebler warming in the bullpen, and Cherie Jackson warming up, just warming up her arm. So it looks like we may see Hebler come in to pitch and Cherie Jackson move over to first base.
Well, right now Thompson will move over to first base as she draws a 4-pitch walk. So Lions get a runner on with 1 out, and it'll turn things back over to the top of the order as Vanessa Avino will come up to bat.
Avino looking to make up for the out in the golden opportunity in the bottom of the last inning there. She had bases loaded, nobody out, and popped up. But, of course, she's gotten her grand slam this season, so we'll see what she can do here. Just a little bit less pressure situation.
Just one of 10 Lion grand slams in program history. First pitch to Avina is in there for strike 1.
Aside from that fly out, Avina singled in the first inning.
One of 3 Lion hits in the first. They would end up leaving those 3 runners on base. Part of 5 left on for the Lions here in the first 2 innings. The 0-1 pitch to Avina is cut on and missed. That's 0-2. Throw back to Thompson at first, not in time. So she's still safe at first, and it's 0-2.
Avina, 17 hits and just 55 at bats. She's seen quite a bit more playing time here late in the season, and going to finish, barring some kind of a crazy long game, going to finish the regular season above 300. Pretty good freshman season.
0-2 to Avina, and she'll swing and miss. Throw to second, not going to happen. So Precious Thompson swipes the bag with the strikeout. So she's at second with 2 gone as Sierra Nunez looks to equal what she did in her last at-bat and try to give the Lions back the lead with a runner at second and 2 out. Nunez 2 for 2. Got a single back in the first inning, and then that 3-run triple in the second.
Again, the outfield shading her to the left. She showed last time she can pull the ball just fine. So not terribly sure that the scouting report is being truthful to the Pioneers.
That one's low and away to Sierra. It's 1-0. Again, 5-5 tie here in this pivotal 3rd game of this rubber match series between your Lions and the Pioneers of Texas Women's U. 1-0 is going to be in there for a called strike. It's even at 1-1 the count. Nunez 51 hits and 137 at-bats. Driven in 16 with that 3-run triple back in the last inning. 1-1 the pitch. Chopped on the ground, foul towards the Pioneer dugout, and it's 1-2.
You know, we saw a cycle on the Texas Rangers last night. Carlos Gomez.
A lot harder to do that in softball.
Well, Sierra Nunez got the hardest part.
That's true.
Of course, she's not a power hitter, so maybe it's not the hardest part for her.
Grounded towards first. That's going to roll foul, so it'll remain 1-2.
You know, she might have a little bit better of a chance of an in-park home run. That would certainly count.
Yeah, if she can put one in the gaps and everybody playing her shallow, that might be – she could run for days with one of those kind of hits. Haven't seen that here this year. We've seen a lot of everything else, but not an inside the Parker yet. So still 1-2 the count. Sierra with Precious Thompson at second and 2 away. Here's the pitch. Chop back towards Dixon in the circle. She will flip over to Pimple at first, and that ends the third inning. Lions get a hit. They leave a runner at second. No runs, no errors. So we will head to the fourth. We are still tied at 5 here on LionAthletics.com. Back here, fourth inning. It is 5-5 between your Lions and the Pioneers of Texas Woman's University. It'll be the leadoff hitter, Logan Polashek, coming up to bat for the Pioneers as they look to try to break this 5-5 tie. They scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 here in the third inning. First one from Katie Dean is going to be in there for a high ball, 1-0, just missing.
Yeah, Katie Dean coming out here for her fourth inning of work, but I would imagine she is on the shortest of leashes.
Shorter than leash of Apache. That one's in the center field for a base hit, and that is another leadoff single for the Pioneers as they continue their offensive barrage on Katie Dean. So leadoff runner at first with nobody out. It'll bring up Tara Solomon. She grounded out to second base her first go-around.
Little clarification if you're just joining us, the short leash of Apache that BJ mentioned, the dog that accompanied December Rivers out for Senior Day.
Again, we want to say thank you and congratulations to December Rivers for everything she's meant to Lions softball. That one's scooped up by Katie Dean and still getting the out at first base on what looked like a very tricky play, Dean to Hebler. So that'll advance the runner to second and Solomon out at first base, but one gone now as they turn things back over to the top of the order. It's Nicole Nordy, 1 for 2 in the game.
Well, I think Dean, knowing she kind of had a sense of urgency there, but kind of rushed the throw and put a little too much into it.
First one outside to Nordy. It's ball 1. Nordy singled and scored in the first inning and then had a foul out in the second. Nice play by Tyler Oppenheim there in foul ground to get her out there. 1-0 the pitch is way outside. It's 2-0.
We mentioned earlier the support from all the athletic programs here, trying to will their Lions softball team into the playoffs, and we see a new face here, the brand new head coach Jarrett Von Rosenberg in the house.
2-0 is high, and now it's 3-0 the count to Nordy. She has worked her way on base plenty of time this season, 77 hits and 160 at-bats, but just 17 walks and none intentional. 3-0 the count to Nordy. And she'll hit one foul towards the Pioneer bullpen.
Thankfully, that one was foul. If that one gets fair, that is going to be a
probably
broken
6-5,
tie. Good swing out of Nordy. You can see she is a fantastic hitter with that batting average.
3-1 chopped towards slider at short. She's going to have to hurry, and she makes the throw over to Hebler at first. A long throw at that. Nicely done there for the second out.
Yeah, she had to reach back and really fire that one, and a touch low, but good glove over there at first base out of the freshman Hebler to somewhat bail slider out. Again, that was an extremely tough play. I don't want to take anything away from her.
Most importantly, it keeps Polishek at second base as the first one to Katie Stevens is missing outside for a ball, 1-0. Jameson going to go out there and talk with Katie Dean in the circle. Stevens 1 for 2, or 0 for 1, I guess I should say, excuse me. She got hit by a pitch in the third inning and grounded out back in the first. Update from our friends in Portales. That's now 6-1 West Texas A&M in the top of the fourth inning, and not looking good for Eastern New Mexico in their last game at home. 1-0 the count to Stevens, and the pitch is going to miss outside. It's 2-0.
Polishek on second has 8 stolen bases, but in this tie ball game, doesn't appear that we're seeing too many chances to be taken here.
2-0 is grounded to Thompson at third. She will throw to Hepler at first, and thankfully the Lions get out of an inning without a run coming across. So no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base for the Pioneers, and the game is still tied here at 5. When we come back, it'll be the bottom of the fourth inning on LionAthletics.com. Bottom of the fourth inning as we come back. It's a 5-5 tie between your Lions and the Pioneers, and that song playing in the background in between innings was NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye, but it might as well have been 5-5-5 as that's the score here. Maybe not for long as the Lions send Kinsey Hebler up to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning.
Did I just catch what I think I did?
The end of a pun, yes, you did.
Oh,
Thankfully,
Lord.
I made it while you weren't listening. So Hebler with a swing and a miss, and that's 0-1. She wanted to untie the game right there, but swing and a miss, unfortunately. 0-1 the count to Hebler. Haley Dixon back out for her second inning of work. Winds and fires the pitch in there. Is going to be chopped down the line, foul towards Coach Brewster in the Lion dugout. It's 0-2.
Yeah, Haley Dixon doing a good job since entering the game for Abby Walker. After Friday night, I would have never guessed that we'd be wishing we were still facing Abby Walker in the circle, but today just was not her day, and Haley Dixon doing a much better job.
0-2 is taken low for a ball by Hebler, 1-2. She flew out to right in the first and flew out to center in the second. Hopefully the fly ball to left in this third at bat will be out of the reach of Polishek if all the laws of averages equal out. 1-2. And that's going to be off of Dixon's leg. She's going to have to run after it, and she can't get it there in time. So it'll be Hebler safe at first base, and we'll see that will be ruled a base knock for Kinsey Hebler. And maybe it's time to make a phone call, Thomas or Ricky, as Mariah Jamison steps up in a 5-5 tie, bottom of the fourth inning.
Well, Ricky has already used his.
Mine.
He used his on the very first batter. Yeah. But you know what? Jamison took care of me yesterday with the home run. I think I will go ahead and put in my call.
Thomas trying to call home run number 20 right here as with nobody out in this bottom of the fourth inning. Lions and Pioneers square at 5, and time called as we send the manager of the Pioneers out to talk with Dixon in the circle. Make sure, I guess, she's okay. Kind of trying to have that one off the leg with Hebler hitting that one back off of her leg. And just make sure she's okay, I guess, in the circle. The whole infield going to have a meeting with their skipper.
Yeah, Hebler sent that one right back where it came from and on a rope at that. And I certainly would have needed to be carted off the field after taking a shot like that. But Haley Dixon a little tougher than I would be, and she's looks like maybe pleading her case to stay in there, and she wins that conversation.
They do have a arm warming in the Pioneer bullpen at the moment, looking for a number, but
probably Tori Bice.
I would think so. Tori Bice came in relief in Game 2 for Haley Dixon. Right now, it's Haley Dixon still in the circle as Mariah Jamison takes the first pitch, missing low for ball 1. Of course, you got it right. Hit that 19th home run of the year in the second inning, part of the 5-run line outburst. Mariah drove in 2, struck out back in the first inning. 1-0 the count to Mariah Jamison. Dixon winds and fires the pitch. It's going to be chopped foul down the line, and June with the nice kick save down there. 1-1.
So we know what we need to see out of Mariah. We need that foul ball hit somewhere around the batting cages or the bullpen, and we know what's coming after that if she gets that foul ball.
1-1 the count. Mariah has Hebler at first, and a teammate cheering her on in the dugout. That one is low, 2-1. Got a lot of fans cheering on Mariah, whether they be in the dugout, in the stands, or even right next to me in the press box.
I've certainly had to fight the urge to be a fan here, and I don't think I'm doing a terribly good job of hiding that.
2-1. The pitch to Jamison is low, and it's 3-1.
Well,
Good hitters count.
I put my call in for Mariah in the second game, and she walked on Friday night. So
Thought you got it right in the first game.
In the first
That's
game,
right.
yes. In the second game, she walked. So I might have a repeat result of either one of those here.
3-1. Dixon with the wind. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a called strike. It's 3-2. And Mariah was certainly ready to take her walk on down to first base, but had to come back.
Well, you got to hand it to her. Certainly the mentality of a home run hitter, as she has hit 19 this season, but true team player in a tie ball game, looking to walk there. So I know if I had her swing, I'd be swinging for the fences every time.
3-2 is going to be hit into left center field, and Thomas Ken has done it again. Mariah Jamison's 20th home run of the year has untied the game again. Lions lead it 7-5.
And I am 2 for 3 on calls this weekend. Mariah Jamison has made me look like a genius twice in one weekend, and making her coach look like a genius for bringing her here to Commerce, Texas.
Her second 2-run homer of the game. And it is 7-5 Lions here in the fourth.
Certainly easy to make calls when Mariah Jamison hits the ball out of the yard every other at bat, it seems like. So easy call for me, but hard swing for Mariah Jamison. Thank you, Mariah. And
most importantly, it puts the Lions back on top in this virtual Game 7.
Yes, real Game 7's going on in other sports, but we're less interested in those as we are in this game. Chelsea Slider takes the first pitch, missing inside for ball one. It's 1-0. And best part about all this, Thomas, still nobody out here in this fourth inning.
Haley Dixon possibly regretting her decision to stay in the game here. She'll remember that one.
Chelsea with a drive to left, and there they go, back to back, and it hits off a car. Lions take an 8-5 lead, and Chelsea Slider wants to play home run derby.
Oh my!
Yeah, someone's gonna need to go out and check on their hood. It was hailing here last night in Commerce, and now it's raining softballs.
The only softball-sized hail that we've seen today just came off the bat of Chelsea Slider. Lions lead it 8-5 on back-to-back swings by Mariah Jamison and Chelsea Slider, and the fans here are absolutely ecstatic. Lions have an 8-5 lead, and we have time called as Bailey Higgs will step up to the bat, and it may be time to take out old Haley Dixon as she might be in line for her second loss of the year. If the Lions can keep it up with an 8-5 lead and a pitching change to come, we'll be right back here on LionAthletics.com. It is Abby Walker re-entering the game for the Pioneers, and well, Thomas, you almost got your wish. She came in a little bit after you had said that we were wanting her coming back in the game, but Haley Dixon just gave up back-to-back homers, and maybe not too ready for her to leave the game yet as Bailey Higgs will come up to bat. Still nobody out here in this fourth inning, and Lions ahead 8-5.
Well, Kinsey Hebler warming for the third time over there in the Lion bullpen, and we may see her close this one out. And Katie Dean is down there watching her, so maybe she'll throw some as well. Who knows what we'll see? Here I am trying to speculate. I've been wrong every inning.
Higgs takes the first one for a ball and then swings and misses. At that one, it's now 0-2 as she pulled back the bunt attempt on the first pitch, but it was still in there for strike one.
I feel for Bailey a little bit. She has to follow up back-to-back home runs. That's not exactly her game, but you know what? If she gets to first base, this crowd will go bananas for the nation. Did she lead the nation in stolen bases? Definitely the conference.
She's close to the lead. I'm going to check in here just a second. I believe she is in second place. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2. She hits it in the air to left center field. The crowd is getting up ecstatic about it as it drops in front of Polishek. Higgs is going to round third and stop there with a triple. Lions continue to hit well here today. The 12th hit in just their fourth inning. And a runner on third with nobody out for Jordan Sharp.
That was a good hold.
Yeah, Bailey Higgs sliding head first into third base, and they're going to have to check on her. Maybe a busted lip or something like that. She jumped up after sliding in excitement and in celebration. So again, nothing to be worried about, and she looks to be okay now as well. Well, I said they're not. The fans are going to hopefully get something to be excited about. Second triple of the game for the Lions. Plenty to cheer for.
And I think the one helped carry that one, too, at least just far enough to get out of the reach of Polishek over there in left field. So Lions taking advantage of everything they can. They have a 3-run lead, trying to make it more here in the bottom of the inning.
It was Dollar Day here at the John Kane Family Field, and not that they wouldn't be getting it if they paid full price, but the fans certainly getting their money's worth here today.
And then some. So it'll be Jordan Sharp coming up to bat as are we having another pitching change for the Pioneers. Lions have Higgs at third with still nobody out here in this fourth inning.
So what is it usually to get in here for an adult? $8, I believe?
$8 for a double dip. I think
$5
for a single game.
$5 for a single game. Well, getting 8 runs for the price of 1 here.
If we charge full price, eight runs per dollar, we'd be making $40 here in just the fourth inning. Maybe even more as Jordan Sharp looks to add on here in this bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, still nobody out here. And Jordan Sharp going to get her third crack at things. And Bailey Higgs looking antsy down there at third base. She's ready to come on home.
Sharp hits the first one foul back off the net and landing back in the field of play. It's 0-1.
Same kind of a shading as Sierra Nunez gets here for Sharp. The center fielder, Nordy, playing off to the left. And the line in right field wide open as Tara Solomon has to cover a lot of ground out there by herself.
1-1 the count to Sharp. Pitch is going to be outside for a ball, 1-1. Higgs is third in the nation with 43 steals. Just behind 46 from Chelsea Hall of Claflin. And that one is going to be high for ball 2-1. And Haley Thompson of Mississippi College has 45, so still a little bit of room to make up for Bailey Higgs. 2-1, and Sharp's going to hit that one past the center fielder and over the wall!
Goodness!
A home run for Jordan Sharp. Nicole Nordy was content to let that one hit off the wall, but it kept carrying out, and Jordan Sharp with a 2-run home run, and just like that, there you go, another 5-run inning. Lions lead at 10-5 with still nobody out.
Well, you got to really hand it to Coach Brewster and his Lions here, answering the call. Western New Mexico giving them that gift on Friday night and making this game essentially a playoff game. And if this is what they're going to do in the playoffs, let's go. Let's go to Angelo.
Sign us up.
Well, still a lot of softball yet to be played yet, guys, and don't forget that this wind's still going to be here for TWU. So
yeah,
this is definitely what we need right now.
So it'll be Tyler Oppenheim. Still nobody out here in this bottom of the fourth inning. Lions with 2 5-run outbursts in the even halves of the game lead at 10-5 as Oppenheim takes that one out low for ball 1. And it's been a long time since Katie Dean has thrown a pitch in this game because of the 5-run outburst, and the inning is still going. So we may see Kinsey Hibbler indeed come in and keep warming up, but we're coming up on where she might be coming up to bat here. 1-0 the count to Oppenheim. She'll take that one missing outside for ball 2.
And on the topic of Tyler Oppenheim, we spoke on Friday about how the Lions held the top 3 spots in stolen bases. Oppenheim is now tied with a Tarleton State player at 26 for stolen bases. So we'll see if she can manage one and get that third place spot back.
Oppenheim takes that one in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
Of course, her percentage a touch better than Quintanar from Tarleton State, as she has 26 of 28, and Quintanar is 26 of 29.
2-1 is going to be in there, evening things at 2-2, and that not pleasing the crowd with that call. They thought it was a touch outside, and so did the Lions, but either way, it's still 2-2.
Pretty tough to make this crowd unhappy after all they've seen in this inning, but the home plate umpire managing to do so briefly.
Oppenheim's going to float that one, but it's going to be caught by Katie Stevens and looked like maybe just another bloop for a base knock, but instead Stevens gloves it, and there, after what seems like an eternity for the Pioneers in the circle, they finally get out number 1 as Precious Thompson will come up to bat.
And TWU, not much to play for other than bragging rights here, and the Lions certainly with a lot more on the line, and they have answered the call here.
Thompson hits that one foul off the net, and that it looks like it hits. There's a camera hanging up back there on the net trying to get some photos from behind home plate, and that one was very close to hitting that camera. 1-1 the count to Precious. She'll look to bunt, but that one's going to be foul, and it's 0-2. It's a good thing, as that probably would have been out number 2 had it not rolled foul. Things could be worse for the Pioneers. Just seen a baseball final of 23-5 between Washington and the New York Mets, so Pioneers not out of this game yet, but Lions may not be done with the scoring. 0-2 is cut on and missed by Precious Thompson, and she strikes out for the second out. It'll be Vanessa Avina to keep this inning alive for the Lions. 5 across and nobody out. With nobody out, then 2 consecutive outs, nobody on base, and Lions look to keep the rally alive. First pitch to Avina is cut on and hit to right center field. That's going to go off the wall, almost another home run. But Avina will settle in to second base with a double, and the barrage of hitting continues for the Lions. That's now 14 hits here in the 4th inning. And it'll be Sierra Nunez getting another go of it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Avina doing a good job to extend this inning with 2 outs, and don't look now, but you're back to Nunez, Hebler, and Jamison if they can keep things going.
And then Slider right behind them.
Just 3 runs away from the run rule. Of course, TWU will get a chance to bat in the top of the 5th regardless. It's all wishful thinking.
Very wishful. Nunez takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Nunez, as you said, still a double and a home run shy of the cycle. We were talking about Carlos Gomez for the Rangers hitting one last night. She grounded out back in the 3rd inning. Has not had an at-bat here in this 4th, but a triple in the 2nd and a single in the 1st. And there's one to left, but that's going to be foul out of the reach of Polishek's glove, and she will keep her at-bat alive at 0-2.
And again, they're shading her to the left, and Polishek has that line pretty well covered. It would take a really hard hit ball to get down the line in left field. However, we've seen Nunez put one on the line in right field and smoked Solomon out there.
0-2 the count to Sierra Nunez. And she'll hit it in the air behind shortstop, and it's going to be gloved by Polashek coming in and ending the inning. But the Lions come through in a big way. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We'll turn things over to Thomas Kent in the top of the 5th inning. Your Lions take a 10-5 lead here on LionAthletics.com.
Welcome back here, Thomas Kent, alongside B.J. Laudermilk and Ricky Moser. Top of the 5th, and your A&M-Commerce Lions leading 10-5 over the Pioneers of Texas Women's University. And with a little bit of insurance now, Katie Dean going to get to return for her 5th inning of work. She's been sitting down quite a while.
Yeah, she had that 5-run inning came with no out, and so she's waited a while since the last time she was out there in the circle.
And maybe knocking the rust off here with the first pitch. That is low for a ball. She'll face Hazel Pimple, who is hit by a pitch in the first inning and doubled in the third.
She gets hit again.
Now she'll get hit again, and she throws the bat. She is not pleased, but
there's your broadcaster jinx.
Yeah, certainly not getting hit on purpose here with our whole entire season on the line. So
I think
not much to get mad about.
I think the Pioneers have had the leadoff runner on in every inning now after that hit by pitch.
And Dean will bowl this one to Mariah Jamison, and
definitely showing that it's been a while since she last took the center circle with that big 4th inning the Lions had.
Yeah, she's yet to throw a strike so far this inning, although it is early.
Just got confirmation that they indeed have gotten a leadoff runner on in every inning. So Katie Dean that's kind of why we've seen 5 runs across for Pioneers in just the first 3 innings. Got out of the jam with no runners scoring in the 4th, but that won't help things out for the Lions' postseason chances when the leadoff runner gets on in every inning.
And this one is going to leave the yard for Celestine.
Oh, my goodness.
And that'll cut things a little bit closer, and
there you go.
I don't think we're going to see any more of Katie Dean here. Coach Brewster already heading out to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. Lineup card in hand, and 7-10 now. So that run rule possibility fading. Probably see all 7 here.
We've seen a long home run to left off the bat of Cherie Jackson. That's the longest home run we've seen to right. That crossed the street across from the complex here in Commerce, and that's not rolling now. It was still rolling for a while. It looks like it landed over there by a sewer drain across the street in that grass over there in right field.
And that home run gives Talia Celestine the Pioneer lead with 9 home runs on the season, and with their hopes of ending the A&M-Commerce season early, that cuts them a little bit closer. Courtney Jones going to come in and pitch, so Hebler will remain at first base. And Dean was not hitting, so the batting lineup will stay the same, as Courtney Jones doesn't hit either.
Yeah, I'm not going to breathe until this game is officially over, because that wind has been here all day. It's going to continue throughout this game.
Well, you called it, Ricky.
It's been there for both teams for the long ball, so we'll just have to see how it plays out, guys.
You called it, Ricky, your last inning when you said that this one wasn't over because TWU still got to bat with the wind. But, my goodness, that's one of the further home runs we've seen by anybody towards right field.
No cause for alarm just yet. A 3-run lead. Still pretty sizable, and nobody on the base paths here for the Pioneers. Courtney Jones will come in relief for Katie Dean with a 3-5 record. Of course, she got that 3rd win 2 nights ago. 5.69 ERA. She's pitched in 39 and a third innings. She's allowed 48 hits and 32 earned runs. She struck out 11 and allowed 11 doubles. No doubles defense, however, right now as Tori Bice steps in, and all the outfielders just a couple steps in front of the warning track.
You almost have to play them that deep with the wind being this way.
Well, and Bice has proven she's swinging a hot bat, and she's only got 3 home runs on the season, but she does have 10 doubles.
That her 11th came back in the first inning of driving
true,
too.
11. And this one is hit on the ground to Slider. Playable, and she takes care of it. So out number 1, Courtney Jones. Good start. And 1 pitch, 1 out.
Look at the wind.
Alexis Elizondo now will step in with the wind at her back. The wind definitely more in play for the left-handed batters, but plenty for everybody to go around. And that's in there for strike 1. So Courtney Jones again starting another at bat off well. Elizondo grounded out to third in the first, and she drives this one to right center field, and that's going to get out of here. Solo shot. Again, I just mentioned the wind working for the left-handed batters. So what does she do? She goes to the opposite field with it, where the wind is pushing out. And now we have an 8-10 ball game. Your Lions still leading.
One of the higher scoring games we've seen since back at the beginning of the year when the Lions played in Magnolia, Arkansas. They had a 15-14 game there, but this one not over yet. I mean, with 1 gone and still just in play, a 2-run game. This is still anybody's game.
So Abby Walker, the pitcher, will step in now and try to continue the comeback for the Pioneers. Again, they're down 10-8. Top of the 5th here, 1 out, nobody on base. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Abby Walker singled in the second and grounded out to shortstop in the third. 1-1 now. Fouled off, 1-2. So Jones working ahead to another batter. She has now allowed the 1 earned run on the solo shot in that last at bat from Elizondo. Elizondo not a big home run hitter. Strikeout there for Courtney Jones. Elizondo, I was going to say, just 1 home run coming into today, and then again, I haven't seen the wind push much like it has today, so maybe that's what she needed. Selena Rima warming up in the bullpen for the Lions, just in case. Again, Coach Brewster unlikely to take many chances in the circle here. 2 outs.
Want every pitcher available here in this game.
And that is in there for strike 1. Courtney Jones, first pitch strike to 3 of 4 batters. Polishek is 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th. And that's outside, 1-1 now. She draws even.
Well, we've seen very low-scoring games in this series, and now we've seen a very high-scoring game. And it's just if you're a fan of offense, if you're a fan of defense, this series has something to offer everybody.
Outside again, 2-1 now. Polishek does bat from the from the left side, and she has no home runs on the year.
Don't say that.
Let's keep it that way. Courtney Jones. And a ball somewhere, apparently 3-1 now.
It would look like a low strike, but it may have been just a bit too low there. But now it's 3-1.
And that is in there. Full count now Full count with 2 outs, nobody on, so nobody running. Polishek with 2 outs, bats .235, just below her .267 average overall. And this is fouled back, so we'll do it again.
Difference in the game thus far, runners in scoring position. Lions are 5 for 13. TWU just 2 for 10.
Yeah, you see those batting averages. That's 200 batting average for TWU, 385 for the Lions with runners in scoring position, and that'll be fouled off as well. We'll do 3-2 for the third time. Same with runners on. The Lions batting .500 while the Pioneers batting just .267. And with 2 outs, the Lions batting .500 with the Pioneers batting .333. And that is going to be ball 4, and the crowd not having it. I think Polishek thought she struck out looking, and the home plate umpire giving her a base.
Fans either chanting about boo or blue, or maybe that he blew it. I don't know, something like that.
And this is going to be on the ground, chopper to Precious Thompson, and the walk not going to matter here. Courtney Jones gets out of the inning with the lead intact. A&M-Commerce leading 10-8. That's 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and just 1 runner left on first base. And we will head to the bottom of the 5th here. Again, the Lions leading the Pioneers 10-8 right here on LionAthletics.com. Welcome back. Your A&M-Commerce leading Lions, leading the Texas Women's University Pioneers 10-8. It is the bottom of the 5th, and Kinsey Hebler will step in here for her 4th at bat. And the home plate umpire questioning something, not sure. Need to get a mic down there. Anyway, Hebler 1 for 3, singled in the 4th, and she will face Abby Walker, who has started the game, left the game, and then come back after Haley Dixon kind of let things get out of hand.
I think Haley Dixon is going to be done for the afternoon, guys, because she was in civilian clothes after she got hit on the ankle by that hit.
Hebler a high drive, but the wind not going to carry this one out as Nordy is under it. Has to adjust at the last second as that wind is swirling, but she is under it and takes care of it for out number 1. So Hebler will retreat to the Lion dugout. Yeah, and Mariah Jamison will step in, and you might remember her last at bat where she gave me my second call of the season, but of the weekend.
The wind blowing in from left now, it looks like, so might be a little bit tougher for her to get one out to left, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use my call here in this bottom of the 5th inning. You know, you lose it, or you use it, or you lose it, so I might as well go ahead and say, Mariah, give me a dinger here.
Well, with 20 home runs on the season, it's not a difficult decision. Two home runs here, 4 RBIs on the day. She struck out in the first, but has since homered twice.
Wonder if we've ever seen a Lion hit 3 homers in a game.
That's a Marcus Jensen question, if I ever heard one. This is a foul ball down the third base line, 1-1. Jamison now with those home runs, kind of a commanding lead on the average race between her and Kinsey Hebler in the regular season, 410 to 399. So, barring something weird, she's probably got that locked up, and that's inside for ball 2, 2-1. The Pioneer fans not happy with that one.
Well, you can't please them all.
There's a lot more to please in the blue and gold here than in the maroon. Although TWU does travel pretty well. About an hour and a half to 2 hours from here, coming up Highway 380. Probably the most local team to the Lions. In the Lone Star Conference, that is. 2-2 now. Here's the pitch from Abby Walker, inside and low. Full count now for the nation's RBI leader.
Yeah, with those 4 RBIs, she's definitely gone back in front now. Probably, possibly for good, depending upon if we keep playing.
And that is behind her, so she will walk, and that's her 18th walk of the season.
Well, when they won't give you a good pitch to hit, it's difficult to take one out. So I don't regret using that call at all.
I certainly wouldn't pitch to her after the 3 home runs in this series alone. And here's Chelsea Slider swinging and trying to continue her home run streak as she's hit, 5 in the last 4 or 5 games or so?
Yeah, going back to last weekend with Angelo State, she's hit 2 in this series and 2 last weekend, so I think that's 4 in the last 5 or 6 games for her.
And this is hit to center field. Under it is Nordy, and that's out number 2. Bailey Higgs now going to step in here with 2 outs. And the Lions have gone no runs, 5 runs, no runs, 5 runs. So
it's that
based
even.
on that, here's the no-run inning, and we'll see 5 more next inning.
It's all about those even numbers, Thomas.
Here's the first pitch from Walker to Higgs outside. Higgs walking the box, looking to slap this one. She made the outfielders pay back in the 4th for playing her kind of shallow, and they've certainly learned their lesson. They are all back almost as deep as they were for Jamison. And then based on her walking the box, she's looking to slap one into one of those gaps since they've backed up so much for her. Again, TWU started with 2 runs in the first as Higgs fouls this one off the net down the left side. Started with 2 runs in the first and then got a 3rd run on the board to lead 3-0 in the top of the second. However, A&M-Commerce came back with 5 runs in the bottom of the second to lead 5-3. TWU put 2 more back up in the 3rd to bring it back tied, 5-5. And, of course, you'll remember very recently that second 5-run inning in the bottom of the 4th from the Lions to make it 10-5. And there is another foul ball out of Higgs. And then in the top of this inning, the 5th, 3 runs from TWU. So now we have 10-8. We're ready to get out of here for this one. Not because we don't want to be here, but because we want to go to the postseason. The longer this game goes, the crazier it seems to get. Here's the 2-2 from Walker, and it was that nasty changeup we've talked about, and Higgs.
If that's a bunt, she's out.
Higgs having to check her swing up about 3 times before making contact with that one and for a foul ball. The question there was it a bunt? But I think she swung 3 times.
Good thing they didn't rule it that, or else it would have been a strikeout.
And so here's the 2-2 again. And Higgs on the ground, and that's in a gap. And Jamison retreating to second. Looked like Morgan Harrison was covering second base, kind of caught her momentum to her right, and then Higgs put it on her left side, and she couldn't stop the train. It was already rolling towards second base. So nice placement there from Bailey Higgs. And this inning will continue. Jordan Sharp now taking strike 1 on the outside corner. You'll remember Jordan Sharp homered in that 5-run 4th inning, 2-run homer. And it also put a dent in somebody's car, so when they go out there to check it out, They may not be as excited about Jordan Sharp's home run as the rest of us.
I thought Sharp hit one towards the berm, and I thought Slider was the one that put a dent in the car.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, there's so many home runs, it's hard to
keep track.
Yeah. Thanks for correcting me on air. I appreciate that.
Just looking out for you.
Also, a walk in the second, and she is 1 for 2 because of that walk. She popped up to the third baseman in the second because she, of course, batted twice that inning. 2-2 now, 2 outs. And swing and a miss, and apparently that one did not get in the turf. Sharp ran it out. And Lyons still running around the base paths, but the umpire saying, the first base umpire, saying no, that didn't get the turf. So that's going to do it, I guess. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Your Lions still leading 10-8 right here on LionAthletics.com. Welcome back here, top of the 6th. A&M-Commerce leading Texas Women's University 10-8. One of just 2 chances coming up here for the Pioneers to complete the comeback, although the Lions came back first. Here with Ricky Moser and BJ Laudermilk. Of course, I am Thomas Kent. Nicole Nordy going to step in for her 4th at bat, and she'll face Courtney Jones, who's come in for her 2nd inning of work. She came on in relief of Katie Dean. And Katie Dean not going to get the win because she did not go 5 innings. So Courtney Jones in line for that win.
I think she might be because she went 4 and she left
4?
with a lead.
Is it 4 innings? It's 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 4 innings. So she is in line for the win. Should have a rule book handy here.
Yeah, you would think softball and baseball would be similar, but definitely not.
On the ground to Slider, and she'll take care of it easily, flip it over to Hebler, and that is out number 1. Score that 6-3.
Shortstop number 11.
Well, with only 7 innings as opposed to 9, it would make a little more sense that she'd be eligible after 4 innings of work. But either way, for Courtney Jones, she needs to keep this game in the hands of the Lions, at least through this next inning.
Thankfully, we have BJ Laudermilk here to make sense of things. Here is the pitch from Courtney Jones, driven up the middle. Higgs has got a beat on it, though, and she's got it.
Nice catch. It was definitely trailing away from her there, so she is able to get the 2nd out.
Good play out there by Higgs. That was going to go for probably a double, and she tracks it down and catches it on a line. And 2 quick outs now for Courtney Jones.
This is the first inning the Pioneers have not gotten the leadoff runner on base. Now maybe Courtney Jones, she can take care of this one, get a 1-2-3 inning for the first time today.
And here is the first pitch of this 3rd at bat from Courtney Jones, and it's in there for a strike.
And if the Pioneers don't score here, it'll also only be the 2nd inning where they don't score a run, period. So
yeah, they've been stringing them along, and the Lions have had just the 2 big innings. Hazel Pimple now 0-1, and she'll take low and outside 1-1 now. Pimple 1 for 3, was hit by a pitch in the 1st and hit by a pitch in the 5th. Both of those from Katie Dean, and she doubled in the 3rd. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2 now. Pimple bats .394. It's good for 2nd on the team. Of course, nobody catching Nicole Nordy. And she led the Lone Star Conference in average before this game. It's dropped a bit, so I'm not sure if she still has it or not. But 2-2, 2 outs. Nobody on here. Here's the pitch. And that is outside, apparently. Ball 3, full count.
There's been two very close pitches to the zone for Courtney in these last two that a lot of fans thought were strike three, but neither one were given to her by the umpire.
Of course, the fans paying to get in here today, and the umpires getting paid to be here today, so we'll have to take their word for it, and that is in the turf, ball 4. So Courtney Jones loses Pimple, and we will see Celestine now, and Celestine responsible for one of the Texas women's home runs here. And that came in the 5th. That was a 2-run homer. 2 of their 3 runs they scored in the top of the 5th. With that one, Celestine took the lead on the team with 9 home runs. Just trailing her, Nicole Nordy with 8. So Nordy does it all. Hits for average and blast the ball out. Of course, none of them comparing to the 20 that our very own Mariah Jamison has hit. Matter of fact, she's hit more than both of those players combined, and they lead their team.
Final from Portales, Thomas. No surprise here, but run rule, West Texas A&M, they get a 9-1 5-inning victory over Eastern New Mexico. So that'll end the Zia's Greyhound season. They finish at 10-20 in conference play.
Here's the first pitch to Celestine. That is going to be outside for ball 1.
Here comes that wind again, Thomas.
So Courtney Jones needing to find it here. And, yeah, that wind blowing from left field to right, kind of straight across the outfield. Courtney Jones checks the armband for the sign, and here's the 1-0. And that is hit just out of the reach of Chelsea Slider. Base hit. Throw into second is much too late, and now 2 on for TWU with 2 outs. And Tori Bice will step in to hit.
And you want to take care of Bice here. You don't want Elizondo to bat with runners on base.
Bice, a base hit just over the head of Chelsea Slider. Throw coming from Sierra Nunez, cut off by Hebler, and that's the smart play as they hold the runners at first and second. And so now it is 10-9 on the RBI single from Bice. Pimple comes around to score. Celestine moves to second. And this game even closer now.
And Selena Rima heads back to the Lion bullpen as 4 outs away potentially from continuing their season, and now it's a 1-run game. Can't afford to take any chances.
And I think we're going to see a pinch runner now, and that's Morgan Harrison, I believe. No, excuse me, Nicole Parnell. That's her first appearance of the game here. We saw her play in one of the games, and I believe she pinch ran in the other on Friday night. So trying to get some wheels on second base and score on a base hit to tie things up. And Lion fans holding their breath now as this one has gotten much closer than they would have hoped at 10-5 a couple innings ago.
Well, if Lions continue with the 5 in every even inning, they need that here in this spot.
And Elizondo going to get a
piece of the plate, it looks like.
Yeah, thankfully, because that one was swung on with a full swing, but played like a bunt, and it went foul originally and then rolled back fair, but thankfully it got a piece of the plate, and that's a dead ball.
We know her speed with the bunts.
And despite the speed, she has both the hard parts of the cycle, 3-bagger and a home run, and she'll take that one low, 1-1 now. Yeah, she's made the Lions pay here in this game and in the series. Kind of different what she's doing here compared to Friday night, though. Here's the 1-1. And that is in the turf, and it gets away from Jamison. No throw as the runners advance to second and third, and now a base hit will certainly score the runner from third, and possibly the go-ahead run from second base. That's Parnell on third, Tori Bice at second now, and here is the 2-1, and that is in there. No, it's not. 3-1 now. I thought she called strike.
Oh, man. I
guess
for
that's
sure that was going to be a call
guess
strike.
that's a fan that called a strike. So 3-1 now. First base open for Elizondo. Here's the pitch, and it is fouled off. Full count now, 2 outs. Runners don't have to go as first base is open. And a big pitch here for Courtney Jones, the transfer junior.
We might need to get a resuscitator to the booth.
Here's the 3-2. Fouled back. So hold your breath again. We gotta do this all over. Courtney Jones up over 30 pitches or so, about 35. Here is the 3-2 again, and this is going to be a base hit. And the throw from Nunez is going to be too late as the TWU Pioneers take the lead and take the wind right out of the sails here at John Kane Family Field. 11-10 Pioneers over the Lions. And doing it with base hits here in the top of the sixth. Coach,
that's tough.
Coach Brewster not pleased down there.
That's tough. That is tough for Courtney Jones. She had her on the ropes, and just the distraction of one bad call behind the plate, and it threw off her groove. And now back-to-back 3-run innings, and suddenly it's 11-10, and Lions need another big comeback in order just to get the lead back.
Selena Rima still warming. Well, she's leaving the bullpen now. I'm not sure if she'll be coming in soon or if Coach Brewster going to let this one sit with Jones.
She may be getting ready for the 7th potentially.
You'll remember Courtney Jones started this inning out with 2 quick outs. And it continues. And this one is going to be playable for Nunez, and that will do it. One more pitch, 1 out, but the damage is done. The Pioneers score 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors and leave 1 on base. A&M-Commerce needing to come back again now. 11-10, Pioneers lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th right here on LionAthletics.com. All right, bottom of the 6th here at John Kane Family Field. Pioneers leading the Lions 11-10, and what's been the most dramatic game we've seen probably here at the ballpark this season.
Of course, it would have to be the last one. Both teams saved their best for very last.
So Lions scoring 5 runs every other inning, and if that stays true, they're due to do it again right here, although all they need is 2 to take the lead. Of course, Pioneers will have 1 more chance to bat, including this inning. The Lions have 2 shots at it. Oppenheim taking outside ball 1. Abby Walker, a combined 4 innings of work, although it's come in 2 separate stints here in this game with Haley Dixon in the middle. She's allowed 12 hits, 7 earned runs, struck out 4, and that is a ball outside. It's just about to get to her having 2 walks, and Oppenheim looking to make it 3 here. Of course, Oppenheim has walked 13 times this season. Struck out 10 times. Here's the 2-0. She squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike 1 anyway, 2-1. This crowd here is getting uneasy. And there's one in particular that is going to let this home plate umpire hear it.
Yeah, with the 6-run comeback, Katie Dean no longer eligible for today's win if the Lions come back.
This is going to bloop in and drop just behind Celestine at third base. She was playing the bunt. Shortstop Katie Stevens was kind of playing straight up, somewhat shallow, and Oppenheim pushes that one to the other side and drops it in behind Celestine. That's very fortunate. And the Lions now have a base runner with nobody out. Now back to what we mentioned earlier. Oppenheim tied for third place in the Lone Star Conference in steals. And now she has an opportunity to reclaim third place. And, of course, she is behind a pair of Lions in Bailey Higgs. And, well, who am I thinking of? Who's in second?
Bailey Higgs.
No,
Sierra Nunez.
Nunez, yes, Nunez. And there goes Oppenheim, and she does have that third place statistic all to herself now. She has sole possession of third place with 27 steals. And Nunez has 31 and Bailey Higgs 42. So you said that was the last Lone Star Conference game. This is the last Lone Star Conference game, I believe. So
yes, sir.
Unless she steals 4 more bags, she's going to stop it at third place. And they're going to check on Precious Thompson's swing during that steal. And third base umpire, he's going to say she did not go, so 1-0. And she'll square to bunt. Coach Brewster playing some small ball here, and rightly so, as they need one to tie. And with nobody out, to get Oppenheim to third with the lineup turning over, that's about as fortunate a situation as you can have here in such a close ball game. Here is the 1-1, and nobody home at second base. No, Nordy just casually coming in to cover the bag, and everybody else playing bunt.
Yeah, with Oppenheim's base hit, now 6 of the Lion hitters have more than 1 hit on the game, everybody having at least 1.
Good bunt laid down here from Thompson, and she's going to be safe. First and third now with nobody out. Thompson looking at second base, but, yeah, going ahead and get back there, Precious. And don't look now, but Lions have 2 base runners and top of the lineup coming up.
Yeah, make that 7. 7 of the 9 Lion hitters now have more than 1 hit in the game. Just Kinsey and Jordan Sharp have only 1, but Kinsey's was a single off the pitcher and gave it up to Mariah to get the Lions on the board. And then Jordan Sharp hit a 2-run bomb herself, so big Lion hitting all day. Lions are pretty close to that team record for hits in a game now at 17 right now.
Vanessa Avino for her 5th at bat will square to bunt, and it was a bluff as she slowly pulls it back and takes.
I think it was a ball.
Takes ball
yes.
1. Precious Thompson swipes second, and now 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out.
Harrison wasn't fooled. Thompson on the move, but she cut off that throw to the bag at second, not letting Oppenheim try to come home on that throw. We've seen that many times before.
And correction, that was called a strike, so 0-1 here. And Avina swinging for the fences, gonna whiff at that one. And then all of a sudden a breeze hits us in the face through our window, and certainly that didn't come from the bat of Avina. 0-2 now. We've seen some clutch hitting out of Avina. Again, that pinch hit grand slam a couple weeks ago. Swing and a miss there, though. She's going to go down swinging. But with just 1 out, she'll give way to the best Lion hitters right here in a row, Sierra Nunez, who tied things up earlier with a bases-clearing triple.
Yeah, being in that last appearance, definitely trying to get the home run. Just take what the defense gives you. You have runners on second and third. You're down by 1. Even a base hit will at least tie this game at worst. So
interesting look here out of the outfield. They're going to play her pretty shallow in left and somewhat shallow in center, but deep. Well, deep for Nunez in right.
That right center field gap looks awfully inviting, and she puts one there, it might be another triple. She could give the Lions the lead.
And that is going to be outside. Ball 2 now. Infield all playing in. They do not want to give up this tie. Let me be more clear. Do not want to give up a tie. They do have the lead now. And squaring to bunt is Nunez, and she'll pull it back, and that's going to be 3-0 now. So a big chance for a walk possibly for Nunez to give way to Kinsey Hebler and Mariah Jamison. However, it would put the double play possibility in play. Here's the 3-0. And that changeup is taken for ball 4. 4-pitch walk now. I guess that one was high. It looked to be close, but Nunez taking all the way, and now Kinsey Hebler with the bases loaded.
None of us have any calls to make anymore, but my goodness, what a time to have one and try to put one in here. Kinsey with the bases loaded, Mariah potentially with the bases loaded, Chelsea Slider behind her. Lions need to come through here in this big spot already, having left 9 on base in their first 5 innings, and any one of those would have been big at this point.
And if I could just be a fly on the wall, Coach Brewster down there talking to Kinsey Hebler and giving her some direction. As much as a grand slam would be fantastic right now, with just 1 out, a base hit or even a sac fly will tie this game.
Even a walk, really, but
just be good work a good at bat is all.
Take what Abby Walker gives you would
For
be
sure.
the advice I would give, but of course I'm here in the booth, and whatever Brewster said, I'm sure was more helpful than what I have to offer.
if I'm Hebler, I'm expecting a changeup on this first pitch. I'm just going to wail on it.
try to break a windshield out there in the left field parking lot.
So here we go. Everybody on the edge of their seats. First pitch, swinging, base hit.
There we go.
And this is going to score 2. Thompson comes around, and this game is not only tied, but the Lions take the lead 12-11, and still just 1 out. Mariah Jamison going to get a crack at things now with runners on first and second. Clutch hitting
Great
from the
piece
freshman.
of hitting there by Kinsey Hebler. Nobody home at shortstop, and the Lions get 2 big runs across, and the fans continue to be sweating in their palms now with the lead, but only by a run.
Coach Brewster coming out to make a move. I'm going to guess pinch hitter for Hebler, as he would love to get that insurance
Pinch
run
run.
around from first. And who's it going to be? Selena Rima.
That's, yeah.
That is Selena Rima.
Your attention, please. Pitch running on first base.
So,
for the Lions,
a little bit
number
more
19,
wheels
Selena
on the bags
Rima.
now. We've got Sierra Nunez at second, Selena Rima on first, and the power hitting Mariah Jamison.
This has certainly felt like a Game 7. We were talking about it earlier today. Back and forth, keeping your season alive. The will of these players, back and forth this game goes, and it's not over just yet. My goodness, the tenacity in this game has been off the charts.
And Abby Walker will send the first pitch to Jamison, and she'll foul it back off the camera hanging from the backstop. So 0-1 now. No stranger to fighting and hitting bombs on a 2-strike count, though, so no worries here for Jamison. Again, just 1 out. 18-11 in the hit category for the Lions over the Pioneers.
Yeah, if they get 3 more, that's a new school record, as the record is 20 in one game. Right now 18, but still time to get that record even.
Here's the 1-1. Jamison going to drop a base hit in there, and this is going to score Nunez. Rima coming around to – no, she stays at second. Base hit, though, and that'll score one. Make that 13-11 Lions over Pioneers. This crowd not going to sit down for a while, and JoJo Sturm making certain of that, as she is urging the crowd to get loud. Here's Chelsea Slider.
2 hits away from the record now, 1 from tying it.
And that is in there low, strike 1 for Chelsea Slider. Again, just 1 out.
We kind of joking about how the Lions get 5 runs every other inning. It's really not looking like much of a joke. That seems to be the pace.
Out of the realm of possibility, not just yet.
I would much rather see 6 here on a slider home run, and that is going to be taken what looked to be inside, but caught the corner. Strike 2 now, 0-2. Slider almost wore that one on the elbow. Maybe she was leaning in a little bit. I'm not sure.
The environment here for today's game is what you want to see every time you come out to the ballpark. Stands full, fans not leaving, for a great game between these two teams that have a lot of respect for each other, but that doesn't mean that they like each other.
Well, hopefully if the score can stand and we move on to Angelo State for the Lone Star Conference Tournament, hopefully we'll travel well and see some of these fans out there in Rambell country. Here is 0-2, and it is driven well to right field. Not tagging is Selena Rima, and Coach Brewster not happy with it as Rima watched that one all the way into the glove from about halfway to third base.
She may have thought that one was going to go over the head of Solomon and right. That looked like it was going to keep carrying, but Solomon a great job to stay with it. And Rima at fault for not tagging from the get-go with just one out.
I was going to say that's not what you want to do. You definitely want to be tagging and playing it by the book. Here is Bailey Higgs, who's taking ball 1. So Rima still on second, and Mariah Jamison on first. Rima, a pitcher, though, and while I'm sure she knows this game as well as anybody, not as used to running bases as some of the players that hit. And this is going to be foul, and almost a great play on by Logan Polishek. She lays out for it in foul territory, but it bounces off the glove, and Bailey Higgs will have new life here with 1-1.
Great play there. Bailey got a great piece of hitting down the line, just carrying foul, and Polishek almost went all out for that and just unable to grab it. Inning keeps alive for her.
And this is hit, and the pitcher's going to catch that. That's Abby Walker taking care of it. So no 5 runs in this inning, but 3. And those 3 runs good enough to take a 2-run lead. Those 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Your Lions leading 13-11 over the Pioneers. Last chance for the Pioneers here in the top of the 7th coming up, and that'll be B.J. Laudermilk on the play-by-play call, and he'll take us home right after this on LionAthletics.com.
Let's go.
Top of the 7th inning. Kinsey Hebler comes into the circle for the Lions, looking to get the final 3 outs that could send them to San Angelo to the Lone Star Conference Tournament. Leading off the inning for the Pioneers will be Logan Polishek, and with Kinsey moving into the circle, Cherie Jackson will take over at first base for the Lions.
Well, I don't think I'm going to sit down for this one, BJ.
A lot of fans are joining you, Thomas. 13-11, it's been a nail-biter all day. The 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th right now may be the difference maker. First pitch to Polishek is outside from Hebler. It's 1-0. Polishek is 1 for 2 with a walk in the 5th and a single in the 4th inning. They average at .267 in her limited at-bats this year, just 45. 1-0 pitch is going to be in there for a strike. It's even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Despite this close score, I'm looking at the left on base category, and 13 runs and 11 left on base for the Lions. This one could have been crazy out of hand if we wouldn't have stranded so many.
1-1 is inside and up to Polishek. It's 2-1. And you look at that, 19 hits for the Lions is just 1 off of their record for hits in a game. They had 20 a couple years ago.
Well, I hope they don't break it, because that would mean they get to hit again.
Yes, sir. 2-1 is going to be in there again. Strike 2. It's in the zone, and the count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hebler just 1 save on the season, but we've seen her come in and shut down games that were maybe non-save situations.
2-2 swung on and missed by Polishek. There's out number 1 as Kinsey gets another strikeout, and there's strikeout 59 for her on the year, 57 walks to compare to. So one gone in the seventh, and it'll bring up Tara Solomon, the right fielder, who's 0 for 3. A 321 average coming into the set bat. She grounded out in the second, fourth, and fifth to Oppenheim, Dean, and Thompson. First one is going to miss up and into her. It's 1-0.
First out, of course, always the hardest one to get. Got that one. Just got to get 2 more, boys. Come on.
Well, we've seen a situation earlier where the first couple outs were the easy ones to get.
Yeah,
Hopefully that's not
yeah.
the case here.
1-0 on the outside, just missing, and now it's even. It's 2-0. It is an even count, even if it's not even between things at 2-0. Hebler winds, fires. That one is not in there somehow, some way. So make sure we have the count right, whether it's 2-1 or 3-0. That's a big difference maker. It is 2-1. So 2-1 the count. They're going to. Fans are tenacious today, and now it is indeed 3-0. Excuse us. We had it right at one point, but nobody seemed to know. So now 3-0 the count, and that is in there, 3-1.
Crowd getting Hebler fired up. They're getting fired up. Probably just what she needed after a tough start to this at bat, and this crowd letting her know that they're behind her.
I think fans here are nervous. That is in there, and that is strike 2. Solomon headed towards first like she thought it was ball 4, but she does not get the call. It's 3-2.
Yeah, good pitch out of Hebler. Solomon's pretty much had the bat on her shoulder for all 5 pitches. Not really interested in swinging it, but she'll have to here.
You think the fans here are nervous? I bet the fans in Kingsville are even more so. 3-2. Hebler with the wind. Here's the pitch. She fouls it back and will do it again. And hold your breath again, folks. Everybody starting to get up on their feet and stomp around as we have the good old-fashioned last couple outs to try to get. Everybody here is excited. 3-2 from Hebler once again. The pitch is going to be knocked foul off the net.
Well, they keep fouling this thing back. This crowd's gonna lose it.
Yeah, they're getting on their feet now so that people want to get some free shirts. 3-2. Hebler with the pitch. It's hit up the middle towards Higgs, who makes the catch in shallow center field. And the Lions are 1 out away from a trip to San Angelo for the 3rd straight year.
Well, you can credit the scouting report for that one. She was way in at the bottom of the Lions' head and had to move a little bit to get that one, but that was more the way she shaded the batter there.
All the Lion fans are on their feet with 1 out remaining. Outfielders play deep for Nicole Norty. The Lone Star Conference leading hitter takes ball 1 outside as the fans are on their feet and start to cheer for Kinsey Hebler. The talented freshman phenom looks to send the Lions back to the Lone Star Conference tournament. The 1-0 pitch is high. It's 2-0.
Well, if you have to face Nicole Norty, you definitely want to do it with nobody on.
And 2 out, if you could prefer it.
Got a 2-run lead. She has 8 home runs, second on the team, and was tied for the lead here.
2-0 is going to be just a bit low, I guess.
And where
now
did
it's
that
3-0.
miss? Where did that miss?
Very close there to being strike 1. Fans getting on their feet, start to clap. It's 3-0 to Norty. Tying run Stevens would be next. The 3-0 from Kinsey Hebler. That is in there, and she's got one in the right column. It's 3-1.
Well, we've seen this just a batter ago. Starting out with 3-0 and working back now to 3-1. Hopefully we can get another strike call here.
3-1. It is in there at the knees. And the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs from Kinsey Hebler to Nicole Norty. 1 for 4 with a single in the first, fouled out in the second, and 2 ground outs in the 5th. And that one is going to miss way out and away. So ball 4 brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Katie Stevens, 0 for 3.
Well, we've noted Kinsey Hebler, good for one wild pitch every once in a while. That's pretty much the most unfortunate time it could have happened. But
oh well, it's over.
Runner at first with 2 gone. Stevens, first pitch to her is in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Good job out of Hebler to get a first pitch strike, something she hasn't been able to do in the last couple batters. And now she's working ahead, have a little more confidence, and also not having to face Nicole Nordy.
0-1 the count to Stevens. Hebler with the pitch. It's going to be hit towards Oppenheim. She makes the catch! What a play by Tyler Oppenheim! And the Lions are headed back to the Lone Star Conference Tournament.
Fantastic diving catch out of Tyler Oppenheim, ranging over her backhand shoulder, and has to lay out for it, and she takes good care of her freshman pitcher, closing this thing out. Coach Brewster, I think, beat the whole team to her out there in right center field, and goodness gracious, what a play out of the veteran Tyler Oppenheim.
The most exciting game of the year, the most exciting game possibly in program history. What a way to end program victory number 100 for the Lions. 13-11, and Thomas, I mean, there's so many things we can talk about with this game, but what ended up being the difference maker for you?
Well, you're playing against a good Pioneers team that you see they have 11 hits and 11 runs. They only left 5 on in such a big-time offensive game, and so you're going to have to hit the ball around the yard to keep pace with a team like that. And, well, to the tune of 19 hits, that's one way to do it. And what a fantastic game. I'm looking forward to next weekend now. Our season not over, their season not over. Man, what a game.
It was absolutely entertaining. Ricky.
If you were a fan of defensive softball, this game was not for you. But if you were a fan of exciting softball, it was. Their back was against the ropes. They lost game 1, came back and took game 2 and 3. They're moving on.
Well, go ahead, Thomas.
I was going to say we need to probably wrap this up and try to go catch Coach Brewster before he's mobbed by everybody. We need to have a word with him and congratulate him on his 100th victory.
Certainly sounds like a good idea. Lions once again head to San Angelo next weekend for the Lone Star Conference Tournament with a 13-11 victory over the Texas Women's Pioneers. For Ricky Moser, for Thomas Kent, for our sports information team of Marcus Jensen and Josh Mank, I'm BJ Laudermilk signing off. Lions win, and we will see you next weekend in San Angelo.